How was your bye week?
It was good. It was good. We got some, I got some well-needed rest, and I think so did the players. We gave them Monday, Monday off, and Friday and Saturday off, and practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Dotted some I's, crossed some T's, went back to the basics of fundamentals of football, and then try to fly around and make sure that we got some running in so the guys want to get out of shape. It's very easy to get out of shape, taking some days off. So we wanted to make sure that we got back to the basics and we stayed in shape, but also was well rested and made to heal up on our injuries, treatment-wise, and get back healthy as possible. So we got back last night, had a nice practice last night, about an hour and a half, and then of course they'll be off again today, and then we'll start our regular routine tomorrow night.
Improvements you've seen this bye week?
Well, you kind of got to go by the next game, and so we like the practices that we had, especially last night. I thought we had a good practice. The guys flew around. It was a little chilly out, but it's football season, and I think that Glass threw the ball well, the receivers caught the ball well, the running backs ran well, the offensive line blocked well, defense is flying around. I think the guys are, that break really did them a lot of good and kind of refreshed them, if you say, and got them back enthusiastic about the game. And then, of course, it's Alabama State week with the Classic, and it don't take a lot of motivation to get them ready for this game.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Have you got a chance to look at film yet, I'm sure?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We watched film on them. Coach Ely is doing a great job with those guys. He got them in first place. They only played 2 conference games. I think they won and won, but they control their own destiny because they beat Alcorn, and Alcorn has 1 loss. So if they went out and Alcorn went out, they're gonna play for it. So, it's a good football team. It's still early for those guys because they still have 5 conference games. This is the meat of their schedule. And it's a big game for us. We need to win the game because it's our next game, but more importantly, keep us in the race because I'd get them 2 losses, and then Alcorn just need Alcorn to lose 1 more, so and then we'll be a 3-way tie. So we still got a lot to play for. It's a big football game. We very easily at the end, after this game with a win, we very easily could be tied for first place again. So we understand that, but we can only control what we can control, so we have to control what we can, and that's winning this football game, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Playing in Birmingham is kind of a homecoming for some of your kids, like the Holloway Twins. Just talk about the way those kids have played this year.
Yeah, the Holloway Twins have played great. They're making plays every week. It's a big home game for those guys, and it's only an hour and a half for us, so it'll be like a home game for all our players, and then recruiting. It's huge for recruiting. It's a home game for us, so we can have recruits there, and that's always big to be able to get your top recruits to that game and see that atmosphere, what they'll be able to play in for the next 4 or 5 years. And not only Holloway Twins, we got a couple other players that's from that area, and so hopefully some of that 70, 80,000 will be their family members and some future A&M Bulldog family members.
For you as a coach, how exciting is it to be part of the class?
It's very exciting. Anytime you play a rivalry game, it's just that. It's a rivalry game. Throw the records out the books, throw the pads out the books, and that both teams are gonna give their all, bragging rights for a whole year. And I think this is probably the biggest rivalry in HBCU college football, and especially as far as attendance. The Bayou don't have anything on it. The Florida Classic don't have anything on it. So this is the mecca of HBCU bowl games and classics, and I'm just excited to be a part of it for the first time. I've heard all the stories since day one. I've been hired here in January. So from Coach Ely said today that you get to the stadium and normally take you a minute or 2 to drive from the entrance of the stadium to the back, and he said it's going to probably take 20 minutes, because now the bus has got all these people tailgating and walking, and the bus got to bump the horn, and they got to get out of the way, and so I might have to experience that for the first time, and but I have Coach Wagner, who's been in the last 2 games, and then Coach Jenkins, who's been in 2 of the last 3 games, and Coach Jenkins as a head football coach to lean on and say, Coach, we need to go ahead and leave. We need to get to the stadium by this time because it's going to take us another 30 minutes to get to the locker room or whatever it may be. So I've been blessed to have those 2 in my corner to explain to me exactly what's going on, what's going to happen, especially Jenkins because he's been a head coach, and it's different for head coaches and assistant coaches. So me being able to lean on him about this game, everything's going on, and what we need to do preparation-wise and things of that nature has been huge, unmeasurable.
What has he told you, and especially about the atmosphere and excitement? What are some of the things he's told you about the experience?
Well, some of it is, come around the corner, get to the stadium, and you're there on a Friday, and it's standing room only, and the people are there all night, and they have to clean up the stadium Saturday morning from Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's unheard of. You usually clean up the stadium the next night after the game, but and then he said, the hotels, we got the alumni and the fans walking around, and you'd be trying to meet, and people just come in the door. I graduated in '66. I graduated in '78. I was on an undefeated team, and this and that. And hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. No, what you need to do is close that door and get out of here before you get arrested. Yeah. So.
That's fun. How fun is it to get to experience that?
It is. It's unbelievable. I can't wait to experience it. And I heard from people that's been up here in the past that when I got the job, and the first thing that everybody wanted to talk about was the classic. The classic, man, it's unbelievable, this and that. And like I said before, I heard that people was trying to tailgate Saturday, and they got arrested, already for this game, a whole week in advance. So it's crazy already.
What's the excitement level like in the locker room this week versus other week? Because this game does mean so much.
It does. We had practice yesterday, and they had not one person on the sideline. Everybody ready to go to the game. It's Classic Week. Classic Week, you're not going to have anybody on the sideline. And I looked around on the side, and I didn't see anybody but trainers, So I was like, what in the world? Everybody's healthy? So everybody wants to go to the Classic. So it's a big deal. We had a team meeting yesterday for everybody to return at 3:15, and we had one guy that was late, and that's because they had a flat tire. But the other Sundays, we normally have at least 2 or 3 people that's not here on Sunday, and that can get you suspended for the upcoming game. So we had no problem with everybody getting back here on time after being off for 2 days. So that tells you how important the class is to these guys.
What do you tell guys on the other side of things not to get their emotions too much into it so they do focus on the game and hopefully get a win?
Well, it's like homecoming. It's not for us. The Classic is not for us. It's for these guys after they graduate. Then they can go to the Classic and enjoy the Classic, ex-players and A&M alumni. So we have to stay focused, take care of business, and be prepared because a lot of people paying money and come to see us put on a good show and be prepared and play well. And so that's what we got to be prepared to do.
It's fun, and what improvements you've seen on the team.
Just by the way, we kind of focus on getting the early perspectives of state, what they like to do, what they what their weaknesses and strengths are. But like bye-week wise, the break was good. I think all the players got a good rest to get their bodies well and get prepared for this next game.
Yeah, Dylan,
Biggest game.
how excited are you for that?
I'm excited. It's my 4th one, so I already know what the atmosphere is like and how big it is and how long alumni and we will talk about it for the rest of our lives. It's a pretty big game.
Yeah, what do you tell the younger players? How do you kind of get them ready for it?
Especially the freshmen, a lot of them came up to me or like asking how big is the game? How many people are coming out? Like it's a pretty big game now. Like it's not nothing to play with. It's a pretty big game. It's a rival game, so it's going to be a good atmosphere all around. So I was telling most of the guys.
It's your 4th year, so are you looking forward to anything new or different this year?
As far as
The Magic City Classic. Anything around it, surrounding it?
the Classic in general it's a pretty big event. I believe it's the biggest HBCU game every year. So I just expect it to be like it is every year. A really big game, big atmosphere.
When you said, oops, sorry. When you said you'll talk about it for the rest of your life, expand on that. How special is this? This is your last one, and why is it that this is unlike any other game for people that don't understand?
It's my senior year. Time flew by. Classic is that game where like it's just like you heard Coach talking about the alumni. I was talking about the Classic. They talk about it for a reason. It's probably going to be the biggest game of our lives for most of these kids, you know. But it's a great experience all around. It's a great opportunity for us to play in, especially for younger guys.
What do you tell them when they're like, hey, what's it like?
I just tell them it's a big game. I'm just going to tell them when we come out to look at the crowd.
When you were choosing A&M to continue your football career, was the Magic City Classic like a good like recruiting point for you to come here? Was it something you were like, I really want to play in this game?
To be honest, before like me like being recruited by A&M, I actually like watched the Classic on TV. So and I was just like yo, it's a pretty big game. And then it's crazy how like A&M contacted me and wanted to give me a chance to expand my football career. So
Have the favorite memory from the past 3 years? Particular play or anything that you're like, man, that was cool?
there's a lot of memories, yeah. I'll probably say my freshman year, my first Classic, honestly. Just running out because it was my first time, so I didn't know like the full experience until like that point. So I guess running out and getting to see the atmosphere, that was probably my best moment of my whole career.
Coach said the team's pretty healthy right now. What do you guys need to do this week just to make sure you guys get the win on Saturday?
Just be disciplined on all aspects of the ball, defensive wise, offensive wise. Just making no mistakes. I believe if we make less mistakes on Saturday, we will win the game. No question.
What is something this week that you specifically want to work on to make sure you guys are good to go?
I want to make sure that we're good on communication wise. Like, it's going to be a loud game, a loud atmosphere. Just communication. If we get communication down, we should be pretty good.
As you guys have watched film, what have you seen from Alabama State's offense?
Nothing too much. That we can't handle. I just believe that we have to play, good sound defense to be victorious in Saturday.
What have you been personally working on heading into the Magic City Classic?
I've just been working on being more decisive, like working on knowing where I'm going with the ball before I go there, and knowing my opponent better than they know themselves. So,
What do you think is Alabama State's biggest threat to you guys?
it'll probably just be their front seven, and it's all about up front for us. If we can do well in the trenches, if we can run the ball, if we can pass protect, if we do all that, then we're gonna win the game.
Your second Classic, just what'd you learn last year playing it?
I mean, last year I didn't get a chance to actually play in it, but I went, saw the crowd, saw the tailgaters, and it's a huge thing. It's a huge game. It could be a huge membership to this program, and I just want to get the win.
Are you friends with people in Alabama State? Do you guys like talk with each other back and forth like throughout the year, or say whoever wins, like do you guys brag about it to the other team?
I know some of my teammates, they know a lot of people on state, but I personally don't. I'm from up north, so I don't know a lot of people down here. But I know a lot of my teammates do, and I know they said that they're always talking junk and stuff. So
Is your family coming down for the game?
I'm pretty sure.
Supposed to be a family affair down there?
Yeah. Cool.
And for people, I've watched it on TV pretty much my entire life. I've never been to one. So kind of just like describe the atmosphere. I mean, there's like that parade, like before the game, after the game, during the game. Like, what is it like?
So basically, we have the parade that starts off in the morning. We can usually watch it on TV. We go to breakfast and whatnot, and we go to the stadium, pull up. All you see is a sea of people tailgating. You see tents, smoke going up in the air, grills, and all that. So it's a great experience. It's probably fun to go as a regular person. We just go in and try to win football.
going to be your first time, like you said, playing in the Classic. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great. I mean, it's another stage to show my talents to the world, and I'm excited for it.
What has been Coach really been preaching during this bye week, just to make sure you guys get the win on Saturday?
He's been preaching to us the little things, you know, as he always does, the little things in his games, they win championships. So if we can focus on those little key mistakes that we had in past weeks and cut down on those, we're going to win.
What have you seen from your teammates? Are they all pumped up for Saturday? What's the energy been like at practice?
Oh, it's been great. We've been having some great practice. Yesterday we started off the week right. Very good practice. It was a little cold, but we kept the energy up. So it was pretty good. Everybody's pretty excited and ready.
Y'all good?
Good, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dale.
Appreciate